I have done 30 plus certifications and am here to guide you throughout your certification journey. In this video, we will be covering some important questions of the PL-600 exam. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. To the important questions, question 1. Client uses Dynamics 365 sales, Power BI datasets, and Power BI data flows. The Dynamics 365 sales implementation has security rules that restrict data export. You need to ensure that the data has the same restrictions in Power BI as it does in Dynamics 365 sales. You need to design the security to avoid sensitive data from being seen. Which two actions should you recommend? Here in this question, we need to ensure that the data has the same restrictions in Power BI as it does in Dynamics 365 sales. And we need to design the security to avoid sensitive data from being seen. As such, the two actions that we should recommend are to use Microsoft Dataverse restrictions before setting up the Power BI reports and limit the role in Dynamics 365 sales to only data allowed so it cannot be exported to Microsoft Excel. Thus, the correct options are A and B. About the options, A. When you share a dashboard or report, the people you share it with can view it and interact with it, but cannot edit it. They see the same data that you see in the dashboard and reports and get access to the entire underlying dataset unless row level security is applied to the underlying dataset. About option B, depending on the sensitivity of an organization's data, it is often necessary to disable the ability to export or print reports. Question 2. You are a power platform consultant for an internet support company. The company lacks a budget to buy third party ISVs or add ons. The company requires a new system that achieves the following. All support issues must come in by email, need to be logged, and assigned to the security group. Accounts must synchronize with the parent company Oracle database. Reports must be sent to the executives on a weekly basis. No custom code will be used in the system. You need to recommend the components that should be configured. Which two components should you recommend? Here in this question, based on the given requirements, the two components that we should recommend are Microsoft Dataverse and Microsoft Customer Voice. Thus, the correct options are B and D. The Dynamics 365 customer voice data is stored in Microsoft Dataverse. Dynamics 365 customer voice is an enterprise feedback management application you can use to easily keep track of the customer metrics that matter the most to your business. It provides a personalized experience, enabling you to collect customer feedback and get relevant insights quickly and easily, all in a few clicks. Question 3. Company has a website that contains a form named Contact Us. Data from completed forms is saved to a shared document. An office administrator periodically reviews the document. The office administrator sends new submissions to another employee who creates contacts or updates existing contacts. You need to recommend a solution to automate the process. What should you recommend? Here in this question, we need to recommend a solution to automate the process. As such, we would recommend Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. Thus, the correct option is B. Microsoft designed Customer Insights to allow organizations to map, match, merge, and enrich customer-based data from different sources. Classic scenario would be to merge data from customer service software like Freshdesk and online sales such as Shopware into one source for reporting and further data analysis. Question 4. Company has a custom web-based API that is hosted on Azure. You design a Microsoft Power Platform solution to provide the company additional capabilities. You need to integrate the Microsoft Power Platform solution with the API. What should you recommend? Here in this question, we need to integrate the Microsoft Power Platform solution with the API. As such, we should recommend System Connector. Thus, the correct option is B. Custom connector in Power Platform is a wrapper around a REST API that allows Power Automate or Power Apps to communicate with that REST API. Connectors created in Power Automate are available in Power Apps. Likewise, connectors created in Power Apps are available in Power Automate. Question 5. You are designing a power platform solution. The company wants its development team to create an interactive slider visualization to indicate and filter time frame data that can be used across all of its apps that can be styled and manipulated by using code. You need to recommend a technology that meets these requirements. Which technology would you recommend the developers adopt to assist the implementation team? Here in this question, the technology that the developers should adopt is Power Apps Component Framework Control. The correct option is B. Power Apps Component Framework empowers professional developers and app makers to create code components for model driven and canvas apps. These code components can be used to enhance the user experience for users working with data on forms, views, dashboards, and canvas app screens. For example, you can replace a column on a form that displays a numeric text value with a dial or slider code component. Question 6. A company is struggling to gather insights from won and lost opportunities. Users must be able to access the company solution from mobile and desktop devices. The solution must meet the following requirements: track opportunities and reasons for the win or loss of opportunities in the context of other related data, display data to users as charts and tables, and provide drill through capabilities. You need to recommend a Power Platform tool to help the client visualize the data. Which two technologies should you recommend? Here in this question, the two technologies that we should recommend are Power BI and Power Apps. Thus, the correct options are A and D. About the options, A. Power BI is a business analytics service by Microsoft. It aims to provide interactive visualizations and business intelligence capabilities with an interface simple enough for end users to create their own reports and dashboards. It is part of the Microsoft Power Platform. About option D, Power BI apps are an easy way for designers to share different types of content at one time. App designers create the dashboards and reports and bundle them together into an app. The designers then share or publish the app to a location where you, the business user, can access it. Because related dashboards and reports are bundled together, it is easier for you to find and install in both the Power BI service and on your mobile device. After you install an app, you don't have to remember the names of a lot of different dashboards or reports because they are all together in one app in your browser or on your mobile device. Question 7. You are designing a Power Platform solution. You need to identify the non functional requirements for the organization. Which three non functional requirements should you identify? Here in this question, the three non functional requirements that we should verify are customer maintenance procedures, time to load forms, and solution regulatory compliance. Thus, the correct options are B, D, and E. Non-functional requirements capture the elements that users might not directly care about but are important to support the proposed architecture and operational viability of the solution. Non-functional requirements often influence user adoption and perceived satisfaction with the solution. Question 8. You are designing a Microsoft Power Platform solution to help a company manage sales leads. The solution has the following requirements: ensures that users follow a predefined sales process regardless of the device that employees use to access the app, respond to sales events by using organization defined best practices. You need to recommend a component for the app. What should you recommend? Here in this question, based on the given requirements, we should recommend business process flow. Thus, the correct option is B. You can help ensure that people enter data consistently and follow the same steps every time they work with a customer by creating a business process flow. For example, you might want to create a business process flow to have everyone handle customer service requests the same way, or to require that people get approval for an invoice before submitting an order. Business process flows use the same underlying technology as other processes, but the capabilities that they provide are very different from other features that use processes. Question 9. An organization plans to implement a solution to deliver the complete sales process for its sales teams. The organization does not have any physical barcode scanners. To meet the organization business requirements, the proposed solution must include the following capabilities: create and qualify leads to contacts, generate codes and convert codes to orders, scan product barcodes as the part of order generation process. You need to recommend a solution to help the organization achieve its business requirements. What should you recommend? Here in this question, in order to fulfill the given requirements, we would recommend Dynamics 365 mobile app and a Power Apps Canvas app. Thus, the correct option is A. There is barcode scanner control in Power Apps. The control opens a native scanner on an Android or iOS device. The scanner automatically detects a barcode, a QR code, or a data matrix code when in view. Use the Dynamics 365 for phones or Dynamics 365 for tablets app to run customer engagement apps built on Microsoft Dataverse on your mobile device. Question 10. A car dealership has a custom financing table. You are working with a developer to add a button to a ribbon that displays a hidden section of a form when specific criteria are met. You need to recommend tools and technologies for the developer. Which two tools or technologies should you recommend? Here in this question, the two tools or technologies that we should recommend are to write a JavaScript code and use the Ribbon workbench. Thus, the correct options are B and C. Client-side scripting using JavaScript is one of the ways to apply custom business process logic for displaying data on a form in a model-driven app. You can use a community tool, Ribbon Workbench, to visually edit ribbons using the UI. Question 11. You are designing a solution for a national vehicle repair company. You have the following requirements. Customers must search for vehicle issues by using natural language expressions. Customers must contact a customer service agent as required. You need to recommend a solution. Which two features should you include? Here in this question, based on the given requirements, the two features that we should include are Power Apps Portal and Power Virtual Agents. Thus, the correct options are A and B. Business process flows are for licensed users, not customers. They also do not provide a method to contact agents. Power virtual agents on the portal will assist customers with contacting a live agent if they need assistance. Question 12. You are assessing the capabilities of a project for a customer in the education sector. The solution must meet the following requirements: include curriculum and student management capabilities, conform to ongoing Microsoft platform upgrades, minimize custom coding and configuration. You need to recommend a solution. What should you recommend? Here in this question, the solution that we should recommend is Power Apps Portal. Thus, the correct option is C. Power Apps is a part of the Microsoft Power Platform, which allows you to build custom apps with minimal coding and configuration. With Power Apps, you can create applications that meet the customer's requirements, including curriculum and student management capabilities, while also staying up to date with ongoing Microsoft platform upgrades. Additionally, pre-built templates and components can help minimize custom coding and configuration. Question 13. A company has an expense approval process that allows expenses to be submitted in multiple currencies. An accountant converts the expense amount to USD as part of the approval process. You need to automate the conversion by using the RESTful API. What should you do? Here in this question, we want to automate the conversion by using the RESTful API. As such, we should create a cloud flow and a custom connector, install a data gateway, use the custom connector to get the currency conversion rate by using the data gateway. Thus, the correct option is D. Question 14. A company plans to use Microsoft Power Platform. The company gathers business requirements about data. You need to identify the functional requirements. Which two requirements about data should you gather? Here in this question, we need to identify the functional requirements. As such, we should go through a specified approval process and store in Microsoft Dataverse. Thus, the correct options are B and E. Question 15. A pharma company uses a proprietary system to manage its chemical experiments. The company uses Microsoft Dynamics 365 project operations to manage lab staff and resources. Employees manually update project operations data with data from their proprietary system as needed. Employees are not able to provide a definite schema for their data. You need to provide a solution that will allow employees to configure their own automatic updates. Which component should you use? Here in this question, we need to provide a solution that will allow employees to configure their own automatic updates. As such, we will use Microsoft Power Automate Flows. Thus, the correct option is D. Power Automate Flows can automate the process of updating data in Dynamics 365 from various sources, including proprietary systems. If there is no predefined schemas, flows can be designed to handle conditional logic and data mapping, allowing for a flexible update process that employees can customize as needed. Question 16. You are assessing the capabilities of a project for a customer in the education sector. The solution must meet the following requirements: include curriculum and student management capabilities, conform to ongoing Microsoft platform upgrades, minimize system coding and configuration. You need to recommend a solution. What should you recommend? Here in this question, based on the given requirements, the solution that we should recommend is app source. Thus, the correct option is D. Minimum custom coding and configuration. There are already several apps on the app source that covers these requirements. And it is your job as an architect to research into this before going for the second best thing, which would be Power Pages. Question 17. Company plans to implement robotic process automation. The company wants to reuse existing online support content. You need to recommend a component that uses the company's existing online support content. You need to recommend a component that uses the company's existing online support content. Which component should you recommend? Here in this question, the component that we should recommend is variables. Thus, the correct option is C. Variables are fundamental elements in robotic process automation. They allow you to store and manipulate data during the execution of an automated process. Variables can hold values such as numbers, strings, or objects and are used for making decisions, calculating results, or passing information between process steps. Question 18. Company has a list of contacts in Microsoft Excel file. The company wants to load the contact information into a Microsoft Power Platform solution. You need to recommend a data loading solution. But should you recommend? Here in this question, we need to recommend a data loading solution. As such, we should recommend using the Excel template feature. Thus, the correct option is A. Import data that is stored somewhere else into your model driven app using the import feature in Power Apps. Every table has required columns that must exist in your input file. It is recommended that you download an Excel template, add your data, and then import the file to your app. The template saves time and effort. Don't add or modify columns in the template to avoid issues during the import. Note: Step 1: Download an Excel template. To avoid mapping issues, it is recommended that you use an Excel template that you can download from your app. Once the template is downloaded, add your data and then import the file back to your app. Remember, don't add or modify columns in the template to avoid issues during the import process. Step 2. Import your data. Use the template that you downloaded in the previous step and import the file to your app. Question 19. You are designing a model driven app that allows a company to manage sales opportunities. The company has a complex security model that includes the following requirements. The vice president of sales must be able to see opportunities for sales managers and sales representatives. Sales manager must be able to see opportunities for all sales representatives. Sales representatives must only see opportunities that they own. You need to recommend security tools for controlling user access. Which two tools should you recommend? Here in this question, based on the given requirement, the two tools that we should recommend are position hierarchy and security roles. Thus, the correct options are C and D. The position hierarchy security. A user at a higher position has access to the records owned by a lower position user or by the team that a user is member of, and to the records that are directly shared to the user or the team that a user is a member of. Hierarchy security model is an extension to the earlier security models that use business units, security roles, sharing, and teams. It can be used in conjunction with all other existing security models. Question 20. The company stores data about book locations in an existing system by using the following database fields: room, shelf. A company must import the data from the existing system into a Power Platform solution. Existing data must be modified to match the design of the new solution. You need to recommend a solution to combine the room and shelf fields into a single column during the import process. Which tool should you recommend? Here in this question, we want to combine the room and shelf fields into a single column during the import process. As such, we would recommend the Data Import Wizard tool. Thus, the correct option is B. Dataverse includes a web application tool called Import Data Wizard. You use this tool to import data records from one or more comma-separated values, XML spreadsheet 2003, or text files. Use transformation mapping to modify data before importing it. For example, split a full name that is contained in the source file into a username and a last name to match the target columns for a table. Question 21. The company wants to add an interactive checklist to a Power Platform solution to ensure that salespeople are following the same steps when qualifying leads. You need to recommend a solution that will incorporate this checklist. What should you recommend? Here in this question, we want to recommend a solution that will incorporate this checklist. As such, we could recommend business process flow. Thus, the correct option is D. Question 22. You are designing tables and columns for a Power Platform solution. The solution will contain an interactive experience dashboard. You need to ensure that the columns you create can be used as global filters for the dashboard. Which two data types can you use? Here in this question, we need to ensure that the columns we create can be used as global filters for the dashboard. As such, the two data types that we should use are choice and yes slash no. Thus, the correct options are B and D. With interactive dashboards, chart user use the Use the color assigned to the categories that make up the different values, even if the chart is configured to use random colors. When the chart is configured to be grouped by any of the following columns: choice, yes or no, status reason. Question 23. You are designing a power platform solution for a company. Users must be granted access only to data that is relevant to them. You need to recommend actions to meet the requirements. Which two recommendations should you make? Here in this question, the two recommendations that we should make are to define and configure security roles and create business units and assign security roles to the business units. Thus, the correct options are B and D. To control data access, you must set up an organizational structure that both protects sensitive data and enables collaboration. You do this by setting up business units, security roles, and field security profiles. And field security profiles. Question 24. You are designing a Microsoft Power Platform solution for a company that has multiple Microsoft Dataverse environments. You need to prevent specific users from accessing specific environments. What should you do? Here in this question, we need to prevent specific users from accessing specific environments. As such, we could remove all security roles from the users of the specific environments. Thus, the correct option is A. Microsoft Dataverse uses a role-based security model to help secure access to the database. Security roles can be used to configure environment-wide access to all resources in the environment. Question 25. A company provides mobile diagnostic imaging services. You are designing a Power App solution to manage patient appointments and procedures. Patient records are stored within the company's cloud patient billing system. Patient ID must be the only information stored within the app. The patient name and date of birth must be visible to the technician to verify the patient's identity. You need to recommend a solution to display the patient information. But should you recommend? Here in this question, we need to recommend a solution to display the patient information. Considering this, we should use virtual table. Thus, the correct option is A. A virtual table is a custom table in Microsoft Dataverse that has columns containing data from an external data source. Virtual tables appear in your app to users as regular table rows, but contain data that is sourced from an external database such as an Azure SQL database. Rows based on virtual tables are available in all clients, including custom clients developed using the Dataverse Web Services. Question 26. You are a Microsoft Power Platform architect designing a solution. You must use a custom connector to integrate Power Automate with a data source. You need to authenticate the connector with the data source. Which three authentication methods can you use? Here in this question, we need to authenticate the custom connector with the data source. As such, the three authentication methods that we can use are basic authentication, generic OAuth 2.0, and API key. Thus, the correct options are A, B, and D. Question 27. A company uses Microsoft Power Platform and Dynamics 365 Field Service. external workers deliver on-site service to customer locations by using the field service mobile app. You need to ensure that external users can only use the app from specific locations. Which solution should you use? In this question, we need to ensure that external users can only use the app from specific locations. As such, the solution that we could use is Azure Conditional Access Policy. Thus, the correct option is A. Question 28. A company wants to create a Power Automate flow that posts marketing events to social media. The company must ensure that the postings adhere to regulatory requirements for handling of personally identifiable information data. The company will not post events to unauthorized social media platforms. You need to ensure that the requirement is met. Which two actions should you perform? Here in this question, in order to meet the given requirements, the two actions that should be performed are to create a data loss protection policy and configure the relevant connector so that it is part of the blocked data group category. Thus, the correct options are D and E. DLP policies enforce rules for which connectors can be used together by classifying connectors as either business or non-business. If you put a connector in the business group, it can only be used with other connectors from that group in any given app or flow. Sometimes you might want to block the usage of certain connectors altogether by classifying them as blocked. Question 29. A company uses a third party cloud based app to make real time business decisions. The app has a RESTful API. You must design a Microsoft Power Platform solution that interacts with the third party app. Changes made in the Microsoft Power Platform solution must be reflected in the cloud app. You need to recommend technologies to integrate the Microsoft Power Platform solution with the cloud app. Which two technologies should you recommend? Here in this question, based on the given requirements, the two technologies that we should recommend are scheduled Power Automate Cloud Flow with a system connector to the cloud app and system plug on registered with Microsoft Dataverse. Thus, the correct options are A and C. About the options, A. To enable logic apps, Power Automate, or Power Apps to communicate with the REST or SOAP API, use a custom connector which is a wrapper around a REST API. About option C, custom APIs are a powerful way to connect to any existing API hosted anywhere from Power Apps. You do not need a Power Apps Enterprise subscription to register or use a custom API. Custom APIs are RESTful endpoints that you can connect to and use from Power Apps. All you need is a Swagger definition file for your endpoint. Question 30. You are implementing a customer service solution that uses Power Automate flows to automate business processes. Flow sends order status update emails to customers. Customers report not receiving order status update emails during peak order times. You need to troubleshoot the issue by examining flow executions. What should you use? Here in this question, we need to troubleshoot the issue by examining flow executions. As such, we should use solution history information page. Thus, the correct option is B. View the history of a solution. You can view details about solution operations from the solutions area of Power Apps. An operation can be solution import, export, or uninstall. The solution history displays information such as solution version, solution publisher, type of operation, operation start and end time, and operation status. These were all the questions for this video. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. We will be publishing more parts to this series in the future, so please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.